Hello everyone, I'm Sue from Crafts to Enjoy and I'm a UK Stampin' Up demonstrator. Welcome to my video today. I'm really excited. This is my mini series of tutorials about I've covered now basic toolkit and paper crafting and what I use, what tools I use and why I use them, and actually you end up saving money, so that's a really good one to watch. If you've not watched them, go back and watch that, catch that one. I've also done one on inks and stamping, and now I'm moving on to watercolouring. This is one of my absolute favourites. So I've done a big long list of things I want to cover in this video, so I hope it comes across and you kind of get what I'm saying. What do you put in a watercolour video? I've made a massive list. So there are many different ways that you can watercolour. Stampin' Up have just brought out a new range of pencils, watercolour pencils. So I love these. There's my current set that I've been using. I've got a couple of sets of these because I do classes, face-to-face classes, and I've just add this to it. Whoop, whoop. So I'm really excited about that. So that's one way you can watercolour, and I'll go into how you use them and everything else in a second. Oh, did I say Stampin' Up? That means one thing: everything matches. If I get that colour, which is Coastal Cabana, ink matches, the pencil matches, the card colour matches. So that's why I've chosen Stampin' Up. So that is just brilliant, 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 because there's no guesswork involved. It will match perfectly, and you know, it just saves you so much time. You can also watercolour from the ink pads. So that's another way you can use it, and I'll show you a couple of ways to use that. If you've got any reinkers around, you can use those. That's another way. And also there's another way, which is here, and I'm lucky enough to have the Stampin' Up markers. These are water-based, and you can watercolour from them too. So yes, love it. Some things to mention here. When I'm doing watercolouring, I tend to use a Stays On ink pad for my images. So I've just sat here a few minutes ago and just stamped out a few just to show you different techniques and different things. I actually had to re-ink my Stays On black again. That's something I covered in the first video about how to, the second video about how to re-ink. So I've just had to put some more ink on mine. I haven't re-inked. I do this about once a year. I tend to do this, if not longer. So I've just done it today, and you can see the difference in what I've done. You know, see the difference. I was just thinking, it hasn't come out very well. But yes, so I've also done some on some, this is Whisper White thick cardstock. It depends what I'm actually doing. If I'm doing a whole watercolour card, a whole watercolour scene, then I'll go for some watercolour paper. Stampin' Up do sell it. I think it's quite expensive. To be honest with you, you can go to your arts and crafts store, or there's a range near me, and this is where this came from. And I've used the whole stack nearly. So it's important to be cold pressed, and I use this one 90 by 100, 90 pounds by 190 GSM. That's fine for me. If this type of, there's a stark difference between, this will take a lot more water or a lot more of your I don't know, when you're doing it, obviously you can get layers of water or different colours if you're doing a background and you're going over the top and colouring in again. If you're doing a whole scene, if you're just doing one little sort of thing on a card, then I do use something like this, but it depends how much you're going over it. Best will in the world, this type of card isn't designed for keep going over it with lots and lots of water. Again, eventually it will start to pill or make like little sort of like ribbles of the fact that the card will actually just start to come up and start to go like when it was made, like a pulpy sort of looking thing. So yes, that's something to be mindful of. So your desired end effect really should make you choose what one you want to have a go with. There's one major thing that I've forgotten to say over to my right. I always use aqua painters, water brushes, whatever you want to call them. And Stampin' Up sell them in a pack of 2. I've had these for a long time. I like this brand because they don't roll off your table. Seems a silly thing, but the one I've had for 15 years can roll off my table because it's on the lid. So if you're just putting that, put it down, it's not going to roll anywhere. So you know that can be quite important. The Stampin' Up ones do 2 different sizes of brush that I also like. I think you're getting them in there. You're getting the size of the brushes there. I tend to use the small one more than the big one, but the big one I tend to use for like backgrounds or anything. So I want to do a whole sort of watercolour scene. The one I've done famously has been a watercolour background, and you could do 2 different colours and stuff. So you know, this obviously would make it a bit quicker, but you can use that one, but you know, make it a bit quicker for you. The way to fill them up with water. You've got a chamber here, so you unscrew that and then put it in like that. And obviously that they are so effortlessly, they don't, I don't get the odd, you know, dribbling out. Some of the cheaper ones tend to be, I don't know, they tend to drip a bit from here. You don't get that. If you're pressing it like that really hard to this bit, then of course it's going to come out. But, you know, as long as you're sort of reasonable with it, I don't seem to get many problems with mine. So perhaps that's just the way, you know, I'm quite lucky to, I've done quite a lot of watercolouring. So I'm going to dive straight in. I'm going to start by using my pencils because I love them. Love them, love them, love them. And there's a few different ways that you can use your pencils, which is quite amazing. There's a floaty flamingo in here somewhere, and I can't, have I got it in the wrong one? Oh, there it is. That's just in the wrong container. So I'm just going to start with my, I'm on, and I'll show you the difference between the two. This is going to be my, I'm using here, this is Whisper White Thick. And basically, I'm just going to colour that in where I think the darker colour will be. And I'm just going to go, the more I press, the more, can you see that? The more, let me zoom in a bit, the more pencil I'm going to get out of the more colour I'm going to get out. Oh, I don't want to go over the leaf, that leaf, do I? I've just chosen a small image here because I'm going to show you a few different ways, but I think you'll get the idea. So then I'm going to get, so this is straight on over the top, and I just want to give it a quick watercolour, and I've just chosen a pinky one there. I'm just going to quick swoosh over it. It's a really easy technique, and I'm just moving that colour around, so I'm moving it from the darker colour into the lighter one. I think that's how my flower's going to be. That's really quick. You've got light and shade there, it's really good. I quite like that. I'd put that on a card. Obviously I can carry on with the green. Again, okay, I've just used Timmy that used that for pink. So all I'm going to do, I've got some kitchen paper here with a lemon on it. I'm just going to do a little circle. I find the circles when you're doing this, it just helps to keep the bristles and that all together. So it just helps to combine them, and obviously takes off any of the pink. So now, same brush, I'm going to go in with a green. So let's find a green. So I'm going to use an old olive. I'm just going to quickly colour that in. There's not too much skill here really. This is a really good way. Again, the more pressure that you put, the more of the colour you're going to get out. The less pressure, or you know, it just is. It's a lighter, so you can really get some wonderful colouring going on here. So there we are. That's my little flower. It's only a tiny flower, but obviously, you know, that could be on a card, or it could be on something else. And that's that done. Didn't take too long. Really lovely effect. You know, I'm not going to go over that much more because it will start to, it only takes so much water on this. It was quite a light sort of water, and it's dry. It's dry already. I could put that on a card and, you know, it'd be fine. So it's really quick technique. That's one way. I could also use, I'm going to stick with Whisper White Thick. I could take the water, the colour, straight from the bullet of the pencil. So I'm just going over that end there. I'm just going to quickly go ahead at. So I'm going to put, because it's got more colour on here at the moment, I'm just going to go to my pinky bits, the bits that I think should be darker pink. You have to be careful, don't flick it everywhere, and just gently take that off the bullet, off the pencil. Sometimes you just want different techniques or different ways to use it, or different colours on your flowers. You know, and I'm just going to go to the ends of my flower now. That's another way, and I'm just going to blend that a little bit. Again, it's my nature. These are flowers in nature, isn't it? So, you know, that's kind of how it is. And again, I could go over that a little bit if I wanted to add a bit of highlighting, and could gently. You can't keep going over it too much, otherwise it will not like it. That's another way to use your. Oh, let's go over that bit there. Again, that's on Whisper White. So that's another way to use your pencils. We've covered their watercolour pencils. They're great. Okay, that's those two done. So then we're going to move on to our ink pads. I've got a Blushing Bride here, and I'm just going to stick to my. This is an older ink pad, and if you just get hold of it like that give it a little squeeze, or the newer one here, I've got a new one, Grapefruit Grove there. Just give it a little squeeze on the middle of it, and you'll see a little puddle of, I don't do that one very well. Yeah, I can feel that one. There's a little puddle of ink there. So you can give that, and obviously you can, let's not, I don't want it to be that colour. I'm going to use my old Stampin' Up one there, my old Stampin' Up one. So I'm going to go straight from there and colour in my flower. Not too much water, because again, it's, you know, it will only take a certain amount of water before it starts to not like it very much and end up messy. I'm going to grab the green. I'm going to grab the green and finish my flower off. Again, I'm just going to use the same brush, go around in a little circle, and then pick up some of the green, and I'm going to colour that in like that. I could go back in if I want a little darker colour there. I'm just going to add a bit of sort of light and shade to that, where I think the, again, I'm not really worried about that, that's quite a light sort of green for me. Done. That's another one done. These are really quick flowers. I've only chosen a small image to show you just the difference in the versatility of them. Another way to use your ink pads is to get a block. So if, say, for argument's sake, you're not very good at squeezing and you want to use a block, let's get a block out. So I'm going to take my ink pad and I'm going to put some on the block like that. That's an acrylic block I've got there, and that's the way to get it out. So now we've got ink on there, and I'm going to just put a teeny bit on there. Probably not the right colour, but I just want to show you how versatile it can be. So again, that's another way to use your inks. Fabulous. Once you've got these type of things, honestly, you know, and everything matches. That's what I love about Stampin' Up stuff, you know, everything matches. While we're on the subject of ink pads, if you've got the same, again, the same matching up, the same Stampin' Up matching re-inker, give it a little shake, and then you could, obviously you could, onto your block or anything, I could colour from there. So you've got so many possibilities here, and you know, that's quite an intense sort of colour. I'm just going to put a bit on the edge there, but you get really intense colour with it. That's Melon Mambo, I think that is one of my favourite colours. So yeah, you get really, you know, again, different colours again. But that's I want to show you like a really deep pink. And then I'm going to go in, just go around a little bit on my kitchen roll. I'm not squeezing anything, I'm just going around a little circle. And that's another way to use your inks and re-inkers. So if you have got that other colour you really like and want to colour in, then you can do that way as well. And finally, there is another way. Oh, have I got another flower done? Oh, no. Running out of flowers. So let's just quickly ink that up. I'll show you how to do that, my final one. If you're lucky enough to have these Stampin' Up markers, you can use these. So not only can I colour straight in from there like that, so let's do a part of it. I can go back in. You have to be a little bit careful about moving it. It's probably not going to move. I probably should have done it on that one. Let's try from that one, see if it will work for us. Again, they do dry because they are water based, but it will move a little bit, not quite as much as probably I would like. But they will go a teeny bit. So, oh, I've got the wrong lid on there. That's another way. But if you want to, say, use the ink on here, squeak, 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 that's the same ink in there on your ink pads and everywhere else. So grab the water brush and go from there. This is really good if you only want a little bit of, say you've only got one thing to colour in, it's a great way to use them. And you can go over them. Oh, I'm going over a leaf there, the wrong colour. You know, just use a bit of highlighting or whatever you want to do there. Say you want a little bit of pink in there, a darker pink, just same colour. It's not a dark or different shade, it's exactly the same, but obviously I'm applying a bit more of it there. So you kind of get the idea. If I was going to do, let's just grab another bit of card here, let's turn that over. If I wanted to do a real big background, let's just say, if I've got a Pacific Point here to hand, or say someone wanted to do I'm just going to use a teeny version of it here, but you get the idea. I don't know, some sort of background. You get different shades. Let's put that lid on there. You can get different shades of the. I'm going to use a blue here. I've got Pacific Point here. I could, if I wanted to do a night sky, but by mixing it, I could squeeze that in. See how it's changed colour? So I've got a different shade, the same colour. So I could go around now, do like that. I'm using, this is watercolour paper, by the way, folks. So this is watercolour paper, and look, this is exactly the same. So I want to go now down to a real dark colour. Same ink pad. And how cool is that? So that's the same colour, and look at that. Just as a matter of interest here, I could dry that. Let's get should have got my if I wanted to dry it, get my heat gun out, give it a little dry. That's now dry. And say I wanted to stamp over the top of it with something, I don't know, I haven't got many stamps to hand, but say I wanted to go over the top of it, again using my stays on, let's just say I wanted to do something, we're not a very good example with these stamps, but you know, stamp over the top of it, and I could colour it, you could see through the colours underneath. You could, again, if I wanted to do a bit more blue, say I just wanted to say that was blue, I could go over it again with a bit more of the blue. So many possibilities here, folks. It's just, I love it. It's just amazing what you can do. You could pull different colours up, you could stamp over it again, dry it again, do on a different colour. Wow, 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 it blows your mind, really. So I just wanted to go double check my list. I've covered everything. Blocks, oh yeah, oh yes, I mentioned the backgrounds you can make. You can also do flicking. So let's show you what flicking is. So let's keep out that blue. That blue's quite a good colour, because I wanted you to see it up on the... Sometimes you just need something, I don't know, I'm saying the word something, you just need a little something, a little sort of splatter of something. So you can, let's just get a bit of water in there, down the edge, give it a little flick. If you wanted to, you could give it a little squeeze. I bet it won't come out now because I want it to. There you go, it's coming. If you wanted to do blobs, you could as well. If you wanted to do flicking, I'll try to use a bright colour there, just flick it. You could do it on the back of your hand. Sometimes that depends what effect you're sort of looking for. But that's all done by the same water brush. You might want some sort of seaside theme, or some sort of, like, I don't know, retro, or even a, you know, see the way it's just sort of going out. This is just normal Whisper White card. So it's creating a bit of a sort of a, that'd be great for planets or something, wouldn't it, for a children's card? You'd do planets or something, couldn't you? Make them like that. Wow. So another way to use the same. We've only got the same things here. Yes, I've got quite a good collection, but you could just build that up. And I'll just go double check my list. Light and shade to highlight things. You know, you could use less colour. If you've ever got too much colour on your brush, just do a little circle. If you say you pick that up and think, oh, that's too dark, just go back on there, get rid of it, and go back in again. You could also do some smooshing. Let me find a cleaner. Oh, what have I done with that? Let me find a cleaner. Is it gone? I just had it here in my hand a second ago and it's disappeared. Okay, we'll have to use this one. It's a bit grubby. Let me give it a bit of a clean. Nothing here to hand because I want something. Oh, I've got to clean one of these somewhere and it's just disappeared. Must be camera shy. No, okay, it's not going to do it. So let's try with that one. It's just have to excuse the glue and that's on it. I've been gluing and sticking, so that's probably a better side. So from this, you're going to have a clean one when you do yours. Oh, I just got to find a clean one. Where's it gone? I just had it in my hand a minute ago. Let me stand up and have a look. No, it's really not here, is it? It's really not here. It's amazing. You get everything ready and then it just disappears. Where does it go? Like the big pens in the sofa. So what you can do, I've got here, same specific point I was using. I've also got just a spritzer, and you can, bit of ink on there. Bit of ink on there. Give it a bit of a spritz. Again, depending on what you want it to look like. I'm going to pick it up with, so I've got a scrap of watercolour paper just to give you an idea. Oh, if you want, oh, I just fell in my ink pad. If you want more, more sort of like, I don't know, at that I put quite a lot of water on. Again, this is my silicone matte. You can sort of do a bit of that. This is watercolour paper I've got here, just to remind everyone, and it would give a different effect again. I'm going to be inky now. So it would give a different effect again. Again, you could go in different colours. How cool would that be? Hope you saw that then on the video. Hope you picked that up. I think we got that. So it's just so many things that you could do. So many different techniques. And again, I could dry that and go in with another colour. It would look different again. You know, get the heat gun out. So it's such fun and such a versatile technique, really, that I think is really, I love it. I really love watercolouring. It's lovely. I find it quite relaxing. So and I've just discovered that. I know I've seen it done, but I've not done it myself, so I've just learned something new myself. So really just getting hold of the product, a few products, and just playing with it and see what you can do with it. But I really like that. But yes, this is my third video in this section of this mini-series of how-tos, and it's really cut basics, but taking you from the basics, you can do so many things. So I'm hoping that you're enjoying this series, mini-series. And the next one is going to be on heat embossing. Ooh, excited, heat embossing. So, and I love that technique too. You know, I'm a real heat embossing girl. So yeah, I love it. So I hope you're enjoying them. And if you have any comments, any questions, anything you'd like me to explain, anything I've not explained very well, you know, please get in touch with me. Just leave me a comment. I'll try and get back to you and trying to, you know, see if we can help you in any way. But thank you very much for watching, and see you very, very soon. Thank you for watching. Thank you. See you soon. And don't forget to click on the bell. Don't forget to click on the bell and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything, any of my future videos. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.